Okay, well, welcome. We are officially live at the moment. And so today we're going to be focusing on pronunciation, which will be fun. These classes with tongue twisters tend to be pretty difficult. Um, when I laugh, it's because I'm enjoying it. It's not because you're doing bad, all right? I'm not trying to offend anybody today. But sometimes it's just, I mean, I can't even say some of these tongue twisters that we're going to look at today. So it's okay. You can laugh at me if it's okay. I'd like to laugh in general. I know it's hard, and I know that sometimes your mouth just doesn't move that way, your tongue doesn't move that way. So we'll just do our best. um, and hopefully that's it. All right, Raf, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm the victim.
All right, a little more enthusiasm. I'm ready. Okay, let's start. Yes, let's go. Let me go ahead and share my screen first. That's the most important part. If not, I don't think you'd really be able to memorize the tongue twister because it's going to be quite confusing. I'm having just a slight, not problem, but here we go. Perfect. So you can see this. This is good. All right, so this first one, I'm going to start with a difficult one just because I can and I will. And this one I actually have zero experience saying, which is probably a bad thing for me. I probably should have practiced just before, and I didn't. So what I'm going to do is read this. We can talk about the vocabulary and what this actually is as well, so you kind of can think of it as you're saying this. All right, so take a deep breath. To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to buy to begin toboggan. All right, so a toboggan, this is a false friend in Spanish and English, Rafa, so do not think that this is something that children play on at the park. A toboggan, do you know what a sled is? For example, in Wisconsin in the winter, we go down hills in the winter when there's a lot of snow. And so this is something that you sit on and you go down the hill, and this is normally made of wood.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of know what I'm talking about.
Toboggan is the same as a sled.
Um, Not exactly. A toboggan is normally, basically, it's the same idea. A sled is normally made out of plastic, and a toboggan is normally made out of wood, from my personal experience.
That's right. Perfect. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you look up either of those words online, and any of those who are also looking in different languages, go ahead and look that up. Like I said, I only know it is a false friend in Spanish to English I because your toboggan, saying it in English, but I really mean in Spanish, means slide in English. All right. So two different things, kind of the same action. I suppose you're going down. You're going down in both of these, but this is more for the winter. Okay. So they're saying if you want to buy a toboggan, the first thing you have to do is buy a toboggan, but not too big of a toboggan. And then too big of a toboggan is a big toboggan. So is too big of a toboggan to buy to start with, basically. Okay, so don't buy a really big toboggan to start with, is basically what it's trying to say here. Okay. So Rafa, why don't you go ahead and do you feel like trying? Do you want to?
Okay, perfect.
Are you up for the challenge? All right, good. So take a deep breath and good luck.
Mm-hmm. To begin a toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to buy to begin to toboggan.
Okay, good. So you did very good. I'm quite impressed with that. So that's fantastic. Um, And now we understand the idea, so that's good. So I think I'll try one more time as it's just the two of us today. And one of the things too that we do in English, in general speaking, and this is something that I will be talking about, well, next year, in 2018, as I'm doing my schedule these days for that, is word grouping. So to say these easier, it might be easier to say, to begin to toboggan, okay, first buy a toboggan. So we're grouping these words together. And then later, once you have, these four words in a group, it's a lot easier to continue. Rafa, you did fantastic. But for example, to begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. And so you have to put these in, kind of phrases. All right. And it should be easier. So good. Would you like to try again, Rafa?
Yes.
Okay.
To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to buy. To begin to toboggan.
To begin to toboggan. So yeah. And actually, here when it says too big a toboggan, it sounds like you're missing too big of a toboggan. Too big a is very colloquial, very informal English. All right, so that's why it's acceptable here. Because if you think too big of a toboggan is too big of a toboggan, the word of here kind of stops you because it doesn't follow the other sounds very well. So I think that's part of the reason I don't have it, but it's very colloquial, all right? So good. What do you say we look at the next one?
Well, I have a question about
Absolutely.
This one. Also in the first sentence, in the end part of the first sentence, to be a toboggan is the same as you are telling right now.
Exactly.
Too big, but don't buy too big toboggan. Could you skip this A between big and toboggan?
Too big toboggan? No, because toboggan in this case is a noun, so we definitely need the article.
Oh yeah, toboggan.
And if you think as you're going down the hill with this toboggan, you're only going to be using one. And so you can't really say in plural because you're not going to be on two toboggans. And it's just one specific. So that's why we have to use in this case.
Perfect.
And it actually goes along with too big a toboggan. So it kind of, I don't know, it goes with this, I think. All right. So let's go ahead and move down. This one. Okay, this is one that I actually like because it's a lot of fun. This is good for your Z sound in English. And there's a little bit of grammar in here. This one I can say relatively quickly. This is one from my childhood. So, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't Fuzzy Wuzzy. Wasn't. And I actually know it better as very here. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Do you have any questions, Rafa? Rafa, don't leave class today. I need you. Don't be afraid. So this zzz, you're literally going to feel your teeth vibrate, but you're not going to have your teeth touch each other, the top and bottom. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want me to do this slower? Or do you think you can try?
I can try.
All right, go ahead.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy. Was he?
Good. I think you did very good. I would like you to do a little bit more z instead of s sound. All right? I'm sounding, the z's here sound more like s's. All right? Can you say the word, for example, buzz?
Buzz.
There you go. That's the sound I'm looking for. All right, good. So you go ahead and do the. Oh, look, Ken. Hey, Ken.
Yes, hello.
Poor guy. He's late.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah, I have a problem for connection. Yeah, of
Oh,
connection. Yeah.
well, don't worry about it. We're actually working on this tongue twister at the moment, and then once we
Okay.
finish this, we'll go back to the first one, and Rafa can show you his tongue twister skills,
Okay.
and he can show you how it's done. So I'll read this again, then I'll have Rafa do it as he has experience already, and then Ken, you can do it, okay?
Okay, sure.
So listen to this. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? All right, so Rafa, take it away, please.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he?
Good, and I like the Z sound here. And actually the word was, when you think about it, it's not was, it's was. And the S actually has many different sounds, which is probably something I should add to my calendar of classes to do. So Ken, do you think you're able to try this one?
Okay. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he?
Good, not too bad. Like I was telling Rafa before, sometimes the Z is the most difficult part. You did pretty good. I think we can improve a little bit here. So what I'd like you to do is to, you didn't see this because you came in just after, but can you pronounce the word buzz, Ken?
Buzz.
Good, that little Z sound, that's exactly what I need in basically all of these words except for bear. All right, so why don't you try again, Ken? You did great the first time. Let's do a little better this time.
Okay. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he?
There you go. That sounded so much better. It's that tiny, tiny, tiny little sound that makes it makes such a difference. All right. So I think that sounded wonderful. And like I said, we'll go back to the first one here. This one. We started out with a pretty difficult one. Rafa, would you like to read this, or do you want me to read this first again?
Well, we can go with this one. To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to buy. To begin to toboggan.
Okay, not so bad here. Again, we can improve. So I'll read this quickly, and then Ken, I'd like you to try, okay? So, hold on. Like I said, sometimes I can't do this either. So, okay. To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan. But don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to buy to begin to toboggan. Okay, see, that one actually made me nervous because I was actually reading faster in my head than I was processing this information. Toboggan, Ken, is very similar to a sled. Do you know what a sled is?
Oh, yeah, sled on the snow.
Exactly. A sled is normally made of plastic, and toboggan, to me, is normally made of wood.
Oh, wood? You mean?
Wood. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wood made.
Like
yeah.
from trees? Yeah.
Okay, sure.
So toboggan's like a wooden sled, basically. A little bit more expensive, too. All right. So, Ken, if you're up for the challenge, let's go ahead and you can read this, okay?
Okay. To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to buy to begin to toboggan. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think we need to work on the pronunciation of toboggan. Toboggan. There's only 3 syllables, and I think I heard at least 4 in yours. All right. So, why don't you please repeat the word, Ken? Toboggan.
Toboggan.
Thank you. Is that easier than what you were trying to say?
Yes, it's much easier.
Okay. Toboggan, toboggan. All right, do you want to try again?
Okay. To begin to toboggan, To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan. To buy, to begin, to toboggan.
Good. Try not to laugh. You're doing such a great job. These are really funny classes. And I said at the beginning with Rafa, I hope you don't mind that if I laugh, because it's just funny. Like, I can't even start to begin to toboggan is like the worst part of this. Once you get going, it's easier, but it's quite difficult. So fantastic. Rafa, do you want to try one more time, or should we look at a new one?
We can repeat this one. It's difficult. To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to buy. To begin to toboggan.
Good. I think, like I said, one day we'll work on word grouping in the future, and we'll definitely have to apply this. So I'll have to do the tongue twisters after that class. I'll have to look into that. And this one, you both did fantastic, so we'll jump down to the next one here. Oh, Ken. Now, I said this is one of my all-time favorites because I normally, on a good day, I can say this very quickly. I really enjoy this one for many reasons, and probably the first one is just because I can really say it very well. Sometimes, not all the time, so if I can't today, don't worry. The other is because it has a lot of different sounds with the ED endings, all right? And those, because there are 3 different types of the ED endings, that's part of the problem here. So it also has some good grammar, which I forgot about in the Fuzzy Wuzzy. So let me just jump up to the Fuzzy Wuzzy one, and this is basically Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? This Wuzzy at the end here, can anyone tell me what part of grammar this is? Pop quiz today.
Tag correction.
Question tag, opposite.
Correction tag, okay.
Question tag, very, very good. And can you tell me what it means?
Well, how can I say? It's a kind of a correction, but it's a sunny, isn't it? But it seems like a correction, but it's not a correction, actually, in my feeling.
Exactly. It's kind of, Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? When you say Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, you're saying that he didn't really have much hair, okay? And then when you add this question tag, normally what they're doing is kind of looking for more of a response. So I say, oh, it's nice weather today.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not really, nothing's really going on. I'm just saying, oh, it's nice weather today. It's a nice day out today. Now, if I want to continue and I want your response to say, oh, it's a great day out today, isn't it? All right. And that isn't it is basically a question to you saying, what do you think? Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Or in this case, talking about Fuzzy Wuzzy and if he's fuzzy or not. So, good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so now on to this one here. Actually, Thomas said he's going to be joining me and just joining us in a little bit here. So that's good. All right, so let's perfect this one. So Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? So I have said it faster. It's been better. But any specific questions at this moment with this one? And yes, both of you will try this. Ken, I know you have experience, so Rafa, I'm sorry if it's quite difficult for you today, especially with these ED endings, okay? But I can help you. Okay, so Peter Piper picked, okay? This will sound like a T. Let's go ahead if I do this. I think that will help. And pickled should be like the D sound, okay? And that's basically all you need. Peter Piper picked, all right, a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers, Peter Piper picked. Like, if we just focus on this, then if you understand the rest of, well, if you understand how to pronounce all of these words, you will be absolutely fine in saying the rest of this. So let's just practice this first line, okay? Ken, why don't you go first? Because like I said, you do have some experience.
Okay. Peter Piper picked a Pickled peppers.
Good. See, and that's basically all you need. So let me do the sound.
Can I
Yes?
have a question? Why first different word, picked and pickled? Yeah, different word. I got it. T and D difference.
Exactly. And that's just because of how the word ends. Okay, so when a word ends with a K sound, with a K or the sound, we have to use the ED ending as if it were like a T sound, picked.
Yeah, right.
When the word ends with an L or the sound of an L, we have to make it sound like a D sound, pickled.
Mhm.
All right. So Rafa, I think the kind of, I don't want to say spelling, the pronunciation I have in the chat box might help you. Because I know how I know how Spanish people think. And actually picked, let me do picked very quickly. Picked would be like this, I think. Right? You can understand those.
That's right.
Are you ready, Rafa?
Yes, I'll.
All right, go ahead. If you just want to try the first line, I think that's perfect.
Okay. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers.
Very good. That was fantastic because I also know that in Spanish, the vowels are very difficult, and you did fantastic with Peter Piper. Okay, so who of the two of you would like to try to say all of this?
I am ready.
I'm scared. It's okay. If you can't do it, just stop. Okay.
From the beginning.
Good luck, Rafa.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. A pack of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, where's the pack of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Perfect. That was really, really good. Ken?
Okay. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
All right, very good. Okay, so I want to explain what this means a little bit. Ken, do you remember what this means?
Sounds like pickles. He's making pickles or something. I don't know.
Well, he's actually pickling, to pickle.
Mm-hmm. Pickle.
Oops, I just muted myself trying to write in here. To pickle something, it means to put it in vinegar, basically, to pickle.
Mhm.
And so when, I'm trying to think, is it cucumbers that people take? They put them in vinegar and then they become pickles?
Right.
Is that the process? I hate pickles. I think they're disgusting.
Oh, really?
So, so I don't really know. I think they're cucumbers. I think they're cucumbers that they use. They put them in vinegar and then they become pickles after a while. And so that's the process. So we can pickle many different things. You know, there's here in Spain, there's garlic, there's pickled everything basically.
Mhm.
So that's what he's doing. He's pickling peppers is really what he's doing. And peck in this case really represents the word pack, like a bunch.
Mhm.
Okay? A group of peppers or something. Okay? And that's basically it. Peter Piper is his name. So they're basically saying Peter Piper, picked some pickled peppers. He maybe chose them in this case. And then, they're saying the sentence again, but the inversion of the sentence. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. Basically the same first sentence, but reverse. Then they're saying, well, what if he picked these peppers? Where are they? All right, so that's the last two lines of Peter Piper picked a peck of peppers. A peck of pickled peppers. Where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Okay. Oh, wow. Thomas is coming soon, like I said, and he can't say this one very well, so I might have to come back to this. All right, so let's go down to this next one here. All right, so this one, I don't want you to show you the last one. Okay. This would seem, let's say, pretty easy because compared to the other ones, it's the shortest one we've seen so far. So let me try. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can? And this is difficult. Can this probably be challenging for you with the L and the R's here and here as well? So how can a clam cram in a clean cream can? Clean cream can. It's also difficult with this N and then the M ending here as well. Ugh. All right, do I have a volunteer to to try for? I hate this one. Sorry, I dislike this one a lot. I think Rafa should go first.
How can,
Hi, Rafa.
yeah. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
Good. Maybe if you went just a tiny bit faster, I think you would have said it better than me, actually. Good. Do you want to try one more time, and then we'll have Ken try?
How can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
Okay. Not bad. Again, this is those word groupings. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can? And then it just, you have to, ugh, I don't like this one. Ken, take it away.
Okay. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
That's not bad. A little bit faster, Ken.
Okay. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
Almost. Okay. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can? How can a clam cram in a clean cream? Okay, I don't know. Anyone want to try one last time?
Okay. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
I think you're getting worse, Ken. Sorry.
Clean can. Okay. What is the difference?
Yeah,
M and M difference. Clean and
Clean.
cream.
cream.
Okay,
When you
cream.
say the M, your mouth closes completely.
Okay. I see.
It's also the clean cream. That's the worst part for me too. In a clean cream can, in a clean cream can, in a clean cream can.
Clean cream can. Clean cream can. Okay.
How can a clam cram in a clean cream cram? Oh, I didn't pronounce the M on that one. I was so close. Okay, sorry. Do you want to try again, Ken?
Okay. How can a clam cream? No, sorry. How can a clam cream in a clean cream can?
Good. I don't think a clam can really clean in a crammed cream clean can, but get Rafa, do you want to try one more time? Gosh, this one is terrible.
How can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
Hey, fantastic. I think Rafa wins this one for today. So good. All right, moving on here. Okay, so this one, again, I don't have much experience with this one. I mean, no experience. I've seen this before, but I've never practiced. So I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Susie works in a shoe shine shop. Where she shines, the second part, yes, we've seen. Where she shines, she sits, and where she sits, she shines. And this is going to be a terribly difficult one. Any volunteers? I didn't even do that well with it. I can just imagine what's going to be said. I don't know if Thomas has a beep noise with this one or not, but... Any? No one wants to try? Perfect.
I'll try.
Okay.
I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Susie works in a shoe shine shop. Where she shines, she sits. And where she sits, she shines.
Good. I think you did pretty good there. So congratulations. Ken, are you ready for this challenge?
Maybe. Okay. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Susie works in a shoe shine shop. Where she shines, she sits, and where she sits, she shines.
Very good. I'm waiting for this terrible word to come out. I'm most
Yeah,
likely going to say it.
I think SH and SI difference is very difficult to make for Japanese in general.
Yes. And I will tell you right now, it's very difficult for me to do this one. Just like down below, I have Sally sells seashells by the seashore, and that one was always
Yeah.
difficult. Now that we've done it a lot, or multiple times in these tongue twister classes, it's actually not that bad. But it's challenging because of this. We have Sue, saw. Oh no. Okay, sorry. We have. Okay, Thomas is here to help us. It has a lot of the S vowel sounds. So we have S-A, saw, Sue, Susie, sitting, shoe. Then we have shop. So there's a lot of problems here. Thomas, would you like to try this one? I'm waiting for it. We're going to need a beep sound in this one, I think.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You sound wonderful.
Good. Oh, thank you. Very good. Oh, where she shines, she sits. Oh, that's a difficult one, isn't it? and where she sits, she shines. Easy to make rude mistakes here.
I know. That's why I'm talking about this beep noise.
Oh, yeah.
So, Thomas, would you like to try this?
Yeah. Okay. I saw Susie sitting in a shoe shine shop. Susie works in a shoe shine shop. Where she shines, she sits, and where she sits, she shines.
Very articulate here. Very, very good. I'll say you can win this one. It was super difficult for me to to pronounce this one, so I think I'm better off not accidentally saying something with this one.
That you didn't mean to say, yes.
Exactly. So good. Would anyone else like to practice another time before we finish this one?
No, that's absolutely fine. How is everybody?
Good. We're doing good. Working on pronunciation today.
Yes, I can see that. I need to work on my concentration, I think, today. It's a bit all over the place.
That's, yeah, the other.
Very good.
Yeah, I think we're doing fantastic. I mean, normally these two are here every week. We also have another one, Rafael, who comes from Brazil, who comes on a regular basis as well. So we're doing good.
Very good. You may get some German people soon. I think it'll take a little bit of time, but so hopefully you'll get that as well.
Mm-hmm. So that's basically it. Everything's going well, and yeah. So perfect. Why don't we move on to another one here? All right, we'll go down. Oh, yes. Okay, so this one's a little bit difficult too, and it's long. I think that's it. Okay, so this is Betty Botter, and I, obviously Thomas and I will pronounce this quite different. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter would make my batter better. So 'twas better, this 'twas always mixes me up. So 'twas better, Betty Botter bought a bit of better butter. Oof. Thomas, you want to try that one to get the other accent in there?
I think we should have somebody else try this first.
That's perfect. Ken? I'm going to volunteer Ken. I think I volunteered
Well, Ken.
Because neither of them are like, I want to try. It's like, oh, I will try. So, Ken, whenever you're ready, good luck.
Okay. Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter is bitter. If I put in my butter, it will make my batter bitter. But a bit of bitter butter will make my batter bitter. thought was better, better, better.
Good. I love how you can tell that Ken has an American accent when he speaks.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, thank you.
Corrupted by the US.
Well, people from Georgia, it's not my fault. He was in the US before he even met me. So, you know, it's just.
Sad.
Oh, the world is very sad sometimes.
Sad news.
At least it's not fake news, Thomas.
At least it's not fake. Well, you never know. I have no idea who this Betty is, you know, and whether she even has any butter.
You know what's funny? Sometimes when I say Harry Potter here, no one understands. Like, Harry Potter? What's that? I'm like, Harry Potter? Oh, okay. I know. Sorry, it's my accent. Not my fault. So have to be true to myself. So good. Well, Rafa, why don't you go ahead and give this one a try, okay?
Okay. Betty butter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put in my butter, it will make me butter bitter. The butter will make my butter better. So that what's better. Betty butter bought a bit of better butter.
Good. All right. This one is so difficult sometimes.
I can't compete against that. So
Really? Well, why don't you try, Thomas? This is the longest one we've done so far.
Betty Butter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, I will make my batter bitter. But a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So 'twas better Betty Butter bought a bit of better butter.
Good.
Well, could be better. I have to practice this one a little bit.
Yeah,
and there are actually nuances between butter and butter, and you know, they're actually really, even though they're very slight, it's actually really quite a difficult one to pronounce in combination of the words, which is the whole idea, of course. But and 'twas is not something we would do really I think, in the UK.
No, the only use I really have of 'twas is like 'twas the night before Christmas, you know, for the Christmas book.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
It's lazy, I think. 'Twas. It was. You know,
right?
So it was better, Betty Butter. So I think it sounds a bit lazy when you say 'twas. It sounds like 'twas, you know, sort of, I don't know, teenagers, the sort of things teenagers would say.
Yeah, I suppose. Actually, for me,
outside school, smoking a fag, you know.
I don't know if any Americans would say 'twas at that age. I don't know. It's just so 'twas to me is something very old-fashioned, and I think because it comes from the book that's, you know, old, obviously, or not new. So that's how I think of it. But I actually think it would be easier to say, so it was better. Betty Butter bought a bit of better butter.
God, you did that well.
Do you know what happened before? I just started saying things and I had to close my eyes because I was like gonna read the word and slow down. So
well, you can definitely tell that Becky is the teacher, so
I can pronounce things. You know, I was correcting something and someone's like, thanks, your English is fantastic. Yeah, I have like 30 years experience, so I'd hope I'd perfected by now at some point. So
do you not think it gets corrupted by your Spanish influence?
It does. And I've also, there was an article I had given out to the group last week about the Wisconsin accent, and I shared it on Facebook as well. And I thought it was funny. And then someone today said that he had read it, and he's like, well, you don't really have a Wisconsin accent. I was like, oh, well, it's because I have teacher mode and normal mode. So, you know, when I have to teach, I obviously pronounce all of the letters, or at least try. The T's aren't going to happen. And so that depends. Definitely depends, but I thought it was interesting. So
absolutely,
yeah. Good. Well, why don't we go ahead and try another one here?
I need to close a few windows down on my computer. So I'm still here, but I've got an old computer and it's getting a bit tired.
That's okay.
So
Don't
I'll
worry.
be back in just a minute.
Okay. So this one, again, I don't actually have any practice with, so I'm a little bit nervous with this. So let's see. She saw Sheriff's shoes on the sofa, but she was so sure those were Sheriff's shoes she saw. Okay, that was terrible. She saw.
That did sound terrible.
Okay, it did. It is. She saw Sheriff's shoes on the sofa, but was she so sure those shoes she saw? I would totally say this in a different order. I don't like this one. Ken? No, actually, Rafa, it's your turn to start. Oof. This is bad.
I'm gonna try. She saw Sally's shoes on the sofa, but was she so sure those were Sally's shoes she saw?
Okay, I see it. You're getting there. Ken, why don't you go ahead and try this one?
Okay. She saw Sheriff's shoes on the sofa, but was she so sure those were Sheriff's shoes she saw?
Sorry.
Yeah, little difficult to make. Yeah, and yeah, that
I think you did extremely well, Ken.
I should have muted myself.
Thank you.
I think
It's
you
like-
did absolutely perfect. Much better than Becky.
I would agree with that. It's like he's reaching for the next word and still saying the last.
Yeah. Very good.
You did do fantastic. I do have to agree you did much better than me. Oh, I'm crying. Okay. Thomas?
Yes, sorry. She saw Sharif's shoes on the sofa, but was she so sure those were Sharif's shoes she saw?
Well, you did that very proper.
I know.
It's a lifestyle.
I think you have a bit of license on the name, don't you? How you pronounce that?
Yeah, that's true.
Sharif. You could pronounce, and if you pronounce it Sharif, then I think the rest actually it makes it easier to pronounce the rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do agree.
That's what I decided anyway.
Gonna make this easier on me. No, and that's
Absolutely.
good. I think you did very, very good. I don't like this one, and I think the second part. But was she so sure those were Sheriff's shoes she saw? That actually wasn't that bad.
Well, there's,
But I don't like.
if you look at the composition of these words, it's difficult to pronounce for particular Germans. So W sounds are really difficult. She's so sure. So you have 3 S sounds following, actually 4, because you have she so sure those. So you have 4 S sounds, completely different in pronunciation, right, followed one by another. So really difficult. And again with saw, is it a soft S? Is it a hard S? So it is actually, these are precisely the kind of things that people have difficulty with, who are not native speakers, I think.
Even if you're
Certainly.
a native speaker.
Or even if you are a native speaker, yeah. But you probably don't have difficulty with W sounds, for example, which would
No. No, you're right there. And actually, with the word saw, I don't pronounce the W either, saw, but I think I pronounce something more than you would, for example. When you say, I saw him yesterday, saw, and I think you would more just leave the A kind of hanging there, right?
Saw, yeah. I saw him yesterday.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is quite confusing, but okay, good. Well, does anyone want to try one last time? Because class is almost over for today.
Oh, yes, it's 3 minutes to go.
So, Ken, I'm so sorry I laughed before, but you try so hard and you were doing so well. Any last attempts? I'm not going to do this one again.
I want to try British accent for that.
Go ahead.
Beta
This is
bata
gonna be
thing.
good.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I scroll up a bit, sorry.
Okay. Scroll up or down? Like, do you want this?
Up, no, down, sorry. I need a text. So, yes. More.
It depends on the screen, Ken, because
Yes,
we
yes.
can probably see it and you probably can't. So, bit
Is
more.
that okay?
Oops. No, better, but I didn't see the whole sentence.
Do
Yeah,
you want this
that's
one?
it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Betty butter bought some butter, but she said the butter is bitter. If I put in my butter, it will make my butter bitter. But a bit of bitter butter will make my butter bitter. So it was bitter, but Betty butter bought a bitter butter.
Well, I think you deserve an A+ for that. That was fantastic.
It did have a little bit of Indian in there, I have to say. British colonial Indian accent.
Okay. Maybe in the same Asia. Okay, I see.
I think
But it
you
was
did
very
absolutely
good. It was well done.
I will totally agree with
Brilliant.
that.
Okay.
Rafa,
So
do you want to? Yep.
the next lesson is on the
Anything
8th,
else?
isn't it?
Yep, the next class, and that is about sounds and everything.
Okay. What time is it on the 8th?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Okay, I'll see what I can make that. It would be nice. I try to attend more lessons now, as my English is getting rusty.
Perfect. It'll be wonderful. Well, we're going to talk about the sounds that animals make and things like that. So it'll definitely be interesting because actually you would add another influence there of how different sounds are around the world. So I kind of like to incorporate that as well because I know in Spanish some things are just to me ridiculous because it's just like, but it's been like this for my entire life, and now you tell me that animals make this sound. So a little bit of English and then in our own languages too, if possible. So it'll be fun.
Very good. All right, everybody. Well, it was lovely. I'm exhausted now.
It's time for a nap. Yeah.
So
I thought it was fun.
try this new password, by the way, Becky. See if that works. And
I will.
By the way, for people who usually log into Intenga, I know it's a German site, but you can now directly go to this German site and log in. I know it's in German, but I mean the time and everything. Obviously, all you have to understand. You can always use Google Translate. It's just you don't have to log in with that. You just literally. It says join lesson and then you can directly join from there. I know Becky always posts on Facebook anyway, so that's possibly still the easiest, but I just thought I'd mention it.
And also I should still do it still do Facebook, the Intenga one, and this new one, right? I'm not eliminating anything. Perfect.
Because we've got English on one end, we've got German on the other, so it's quite good. I might do it in such a way that I also post a link to the German site so that people can log in easier. I mean, they don't have to log in; they just have to have a Google account now or a YouTube account. So anyway,
perfect.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Well, good. Well, hopefully we'll see you on Wednesday for all those sounds and things. So have a great day, and we will see you soon.
Bye bye.
Nice to meet you, Thomas.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.